Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers. James and Justin back again with another reaction video, and today we're going to be looking at the Zen Echoes YouTube channel and their popular video titled The Prophecy of a Shaolin Monk, What Awaits Us as Humanity. It's just a small little clip, but it looks really fascinating, and once we're done watching it, we'll talk about it.
And hopefully it's good news.
What's your feeling about the future, about the direction which we are going with the world, with all this tech, with AI, with social media that's isolating us? What's the direction we're going to? Is it optimistic? Is it pessimistic?
I think in all life cycles of every culture that ever lived on this planet. Now, I have to mention, probably people will misunderstand, but doesn't matter. I think this nature, this planet, everything about it can never be out of balance. The universe is never out of balance because the universe is simply not separated. Yeah, this is like the one statement. So even nowadays, if you have, or if we sense, oh, something is shifting, something is bad, there's too much technological development, something is too much being outsourced. That is the one thing. But because things are being obviously so much outsourced, there's so fast technological advancement away from being human. This is why the force of other ones, in order to even more now push to the front again the realization of what you really are, this is also growing at the same time. So it is because of the technological advancement moving away from being a human. This is the reason why it's also connected to the fact of so many people right now having all these wake-up calls. So many people getting interested into this type of topics. What can I do to not outsource my life to all this technology? So this comes up because of the technology. The faster it grows on the one side, the more and deeper the understanding also becomes to the inside. And the question simply is, on which side are you standing? Or maybe you don't even need a side to stand on, because it's all connected. So it's neither optimistic nor is it pessimistic. In my view, it is really just like, it is a different experience that's gonna come, no matter in which way. It's a new experience that is just gonna expand the realization how much is possible in this world. You can go to the Mars on the one side, and on the other side, you can go into the deepest layers of what you find inside there, inside yourself. Both of these methods are existing nowadays.
I think so. I think he's a smart monk, and he's on point with his message. And on a pessimistic, I guess, side of it, I was thinking, man, I wonder if there's people that get nervous at the idea of awakening, like understand what awakening is, but they're kind of like, charlatans in waiting or something like that. And they're like, well, as long as it doesn't mess with some selfish thing I got. You know what I mean? Like, because to people that are into awakening, they're excited at the idea of, well, maybe they're not. Maybe they're detached from the idea of excitement, but they're like, yeah, that makes sense, balance and equality. But there might be somebody out there that's unsettled by balance and equality. The very notion of it. No, things need to be polar.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and as too much as things are polar, it means that the balance will be coming. That's kind of what I got from the message. Like people are so worried about like technological advancements, where things are headed, or it could just be something like the current state in which politics is running right now. Like if you look at the States, people might think, oh, it's a madhouse down there with the tariffs and everything that's going on globally. Well, in behind the scenes, lo and behold, to everyone else, there's something else rising up out of that that's going to bring some type of balance. So like the heart in that message I say is like, why are you so worried about all these things? Why are you worried about the future? The universe seems to have a way of balancing things out. And if you look out, it seems like that. Like there's supernovas and black holes and crazy chaos all outside in the universe. And then you look at Earth, and then there's like this place where there's,
and things spring into existence and things disappear out of existence and things change form, and energy just changes form and nothing is ever destroyed or created. That does seem to, like, I don't even know, I'm not a scientist, but I've heard, I'm parodying things I've heard, but it does seem like if you can regard it as all one thing, and that it's one thing changing forms. And like he said, I think very like strategically and cleverly, he said, it'll just be a new experience. And to some people, their mind tells them, I don't want new experience. And some people go, yay, new experience. But regardless, everything's always a new experience. Every moment is a new experience, fresh.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's something to be excited about, and I don't think it's something to be scared about.
Yeah,
I
you
think
don't have to throw a label on it.
Yeah,
which
which
kind of
is what he was saying.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to say paste a bad or a good on it. Just see it, observe it, be a part of it, if you can enjoy it. And then he also said at the very end there, like, it may depend on just what side you're standing on. If you don't like the chaotic side that you're standing on, maybe just step over into the peaceful side. You might find something new. And I think that's, if you look at the world, I think we're kind of doing that as humans. We see that constantly all the time. People, like, they change, they have a lifestyle, and I think we're seeing more of this where, people are getting sick of their lifestyle and they're being like, I'm changing completely. I'm getting out of this. I'm gonna go do something different now. I don't have to do this thing anymore.
Yeah, I think statistically people change careers way more often than they used to. I think that's like been on the rise, is that people typically, you could find the numbers of how long people stay with careers, but they change more frequently by and large. Whereas in the past, it seems like people would find something, stick with it eternally, you know what I mean? For their whole life, at least. And people are apt to kind of switch the, what's like a good metaphor for it? Like keep switching up the deck, you know what I mean? Like they switch the cards around.
Yeah.
But I do want to put the caveat in there that I think things are a little bit different depending on your degree of awakening, depending on your degree of awareness. The rules seem to be different. It's like, well, what's the matter with me endlessly switching things up, believing that the next thing will save me? You're in the realm of suffering, in my opinion, versus somebody that's kind of a little more detached than that to begin with. Doesn't trust that whatever's next is either going to doom them or save them. They're like, it just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
I think a lot of people are stuck in safety. They find something,
survival.
They find a comfort survival zone.
Yes.
And they're taking any risks, trying any new things. They're like, well, then I'm going to lose my security blanket. And then what happens? And what if it doesn't work out? And then I might regret it. And I might be on the other side, regretting the fact that...
But they're crazy. They're crazy. There was in the book, Our Inner Ape, I saw that you got that.
Yeah.
Great book for learning, Our Inner Ape. There's a horrific experiment that the scientists do. I don't even think they could do it anymore, but they took little baby chimps or whatever, and they kept replacing the mother with, like, first it was like they got it somewhat realistic, and it would nurse them, and they saw how far away from the likeness of its same family they could get it. So it was just like a cage with like things, and the ape would still cling to it if it was scared, like it was its mother. There's something like horrifying about that to me, because I think people do this. That security blanket that you're talking about is like an illusion that if you tear out of some people's hands, they'll be like, because they're so conditioned that they'll go crazy. And it's like, you don't even need the security blanket. Like, survival is the name of the game, I believe, in all these concepts, and all the fear that people have, and all the hope that they have, and the lottery tickets they have. It is like survival drive gone insane. Like, I'm not really surviving until I've got all these things. Meanwhile, you're like, behold, you are alive. You've even got some food. Well, at least, not for everybody. I'm not talking to people that are literally trying to get food. Let's help those people out. Let's get them some food. But if if you got your needs met, the survival thing is still running, telling you need more. And that is very exploitable. That's like, can we find some people that we can convince don't have everything they need? Because if we can convince them of that, we can get them running around in a hamster wheel generating some energy.
Yeah.
It's
what do you find
real
is,
thing.
What do you find is like a good strategy to kind of like face some of those fears?
Honesty. Honesty, first of all. It seems to be the biggest hurdle people can face, but it's like actually awakening is this easiest thing you could do, but the mind seems to need to like descend down the same ladder it climbed up. And the way you descend down that ladder is by being honest, because when you're honest, the ways of the world will start to fall away, because so much of the world is based on not even deception, just like a lot of deception, but also like limited knowledge, like a lack of knowledge, just getting to the point where you really deeply feel like, I don't know what anything is can be a way more honest answer. It's like a lie you don't know you're telling when you're like, oh, I'm certain. I know that when I die, I'm going to glory, glory, hallelujah, and heaven. You can't tell me otherwise. In fact, I'll stop listening if you try to tell me otherwise. That's the realm of like deception, self-deception, delusion. But if you start being honest and be like, I don't know, like you're in church, I don't know about this. It was 2,000 years ago. How can we trust this? You know what I mean? You start going to the people who you constantly fake around, and you start being like, I don't feel like pretending anymore. Yeah. You're rude. You're effed up. He's concerning me, actually. Came to the party, and he was like just telling everyone how he feels. Ew. It'll push you out of the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And that's what people, pre all that, they're like, the first safety measure is not becoming that guy. Yeah. Is getting together with other people and being like, that's the wrong guy, right? We all agree? We all agree that's the crazy wrong guy. So you got to go through layers of bullshit, an ocean. You got to wade through an ocean of bullshit. The simple answer is when you get to it, is so simple it was what you were all along. But it seems to be that the process of getting rid of that safety blanket that you're talking about, in my opinion, is honesty. Yeah. Is start just at least be like, I'm going to try to be a little more honest. Yeah. I'm going to try to be a little more authentic with my feelings.
Yeah. And also in kind of like the physical domain of like baby steps towards things that maybe might make you feel comfortable, if that's part of it, right? Like testing a world out that you're not used to, getting used to things not always being the exact same around you.
They're never the exact same. We've had death we've faced death countless times. Yeah. And we've seen people come and go. We've seen relationships. Most people seen relationships come and go throughout their life. Yeah. Everything's always changing. Yeah. Everything is always changing. Some things seem more static than others, and that can but we tend to want to relive things we categorize as good. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I've met people so delusional that it's like, I knew you back then, and they goldenize memories, and I'm like, I was there. I didn't see it that way. I don't think you even were happy at the time, but you're constantly escaping into the past or the future. Like, that was when it was good, or that's when it will be good. It's like, it's this. This is what it is, and it's only scary because you've been conditioned to be afraid of it. Or it's only scary because you haven't you don't realize quite yet what it is, but honesty will guide you there. Honesty will lead you there. And can I say that there will not be challenges? Hell no. There will be challenges. Whether you're friggin' awakened or not, there's challenges, there's pain, there's death. All those things exist for everyone. But the difference is, if you're utterly attached, you're going to suffer. The suffering's going to be more pronounced.
Yeah, I hear you. Good stuff. Hopefully this made sense to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed our reaction. No, I think it's good. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you did, you hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Everyone, until next time, stay spiritual.